Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with your CRM project there. Now, we run these short presentations normally every Friday, focusing on different aspects of Workbooks and CRM. And today we're going to look a little bit more closely at activity management. How do you use a CRM tool to manage your time more effectively? Now, this presentation will be approximately half an hour or so. It's just a basic session. Everyone uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements. And I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go over all of the extensive features of offerings of Workbooks. So after this session, if you want to explore Workbooks in more detail, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session with you and your colleagues, and we can then go over your specific needs. Now, also on the call today, and we have 15 or 16 people on the call this morning. I can recognize some of the names of people that are already trialing the Workbook system. There is a free trial of the Workbook system, which I'd encourage you to take. So some of you have seen the interface, some of you haven't. So excuse me if I'm going over some information you may already know about Workbooks. I need to go at the speed of the slowest, so to speak. Now, as you have been informed as you enter the presentation, the audio part of this call is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. Don't worry about any background noises at your end. If you've got any questions, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end of our call. Also, this session is being recorded. After the presentation, you'll get an email from our system with a link to the recording, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. We are CRM specialists. All we do is supply customer relationship management solutions. We've been doing this a long time. We've implemented well over 3,000 systems all over the UK and further afield. And now, of course, with Workbooks, it's a cloud solution. There's nothing to install. You can be up and running really quickly. And we've got clients that set their own systems up, teach themselves how to use it. It's not difficult. All of the reviews that you might have seen out there have scored Workbooks very heavily in ease of use. But be realistic. We're here on hand. We've got specialists here to assist you if you need anything set up, you need some specific training. We can train you at your place. You can come to our place. We're based just north of Bristol in the UK. Or we can do training online if you don't want to travel. And we've got a nice, friendly, responsive help desk service here as well. All designed to help you get up and running quickly with Workbooks, get productive, and if you get stuck, we're in this together. You know, you've got somebody to call on. We're your partner to make sure you get the most out of your CRM investment. Now, we could do the whole thing for you, and we do have many clients that come to us, and we set the whole thing up for them. We do all the training, all the customization, migrating data. And as long as we understand what you want, and we'll take a bit of time out to fully understand your requirements and put it in writing, we can do the whole thing for you. So lots of different implementation options there. Of course, in working with you from the very outset, what we want to try and get at is what are the objectives you're looking to achieve with CRM? What issues you're looking to solve? Are you wanting to improve your sales process? You're wanting to improve the way you do quotes, improve your customer service, do better marketing, do better targeted marketing to your prospects and customers. It may be a combination of all of those. And today we're focusing on time management. How do you manage your time right now? Do some people use Outlook? Is it in their head? Is it in a manual list? Is it in Excel? How do you share activities with colleagues? How do you see what other people are up to? How do you need to report on what you've done? How many calls you've done? How many client presentations you've done or are about to do? Well, Workbooks can answer all of these questions and more. So this is really what we want to try and get us working with you, really, so that when you've started using workbooks and you've been using it for a few months, you can look back and see what you've achieved. We can perhaps measure some kind of return on investment, ROI. What tangible benefits have we got from our CRM investment? So, what is Workbooks? Well, it's a central, easy to use, affordable solution to manage all the information about your business contacts, your suppliers, your customers, all in one place, managing your interactions with those people, your activities, what we're talking to today about, to easily improve teamwork and sharing of that information with all of your customer-facing people. So who in your business talks to clients, customers? They're all potential CRM Workbooks users. We've got a bunch of marketing tools in there as well to help you be more targeted and proactive with your communications to clients. Now, unusually for a CRM solution, not many other CRM solutions can do this. We can create sales quotations, and there's also an option for creating orders and invoices and supplier orders. There are 2 editions of Workbooks. When you sign up for Workbooks, you've got 2 choices. You've got, we have CRM edition or business edition. If you think about the sales process, CRM edition will take you up to the quotation stage of how you work with a client. Business edition will do everything that CRM does, plus the ability to create orders, invoices, supplier orders, record customer payments, if you like, all the financial stuff. So there's your 2 options, CRM edition or business edition. You can also mix and match these 2 editions. So let's say you're 5 users, 5 potential users of a Workbook solution. You can have 3 people using CRM and 2 on business. You can mix and match these 2 editions. Again, sometimes not possible with other competing products. So a nice thing there that Workbooks does that many other systems out there don't do. Any edition will allow you to track customer service. Do you have a help desk there? Do you have a customer care department? Do you take calls from clients with problems or issues or some kind of complaint? And you need to track that in a structured way. Well, we can do that also with Workbooks. Now, the system, as well as being a great productivity tool for all of us talking to clients, is a great management tool as well to help you manage the business, control your department, see what's going on, what's working well, what isn't working well. It's a great management tool. And Workbooks has been around a long time. Many clients in the UK using it in all different types of businesses. We've got sole traders using Workbooks. We've got implementations of many hundreds of users tracking millions of records. Workbooks is very scalable, but essentially its sweet spot is being used by small and medium-sized companies in the UK and further afield. Now, all the data is in the UK, very secure. To be honest with you, a level of security that most small and medium-sized businesses could not afford. Very secure. Only you have got access to your data. It's 100% cloud, nothing to install. You're up and running very quickly. And it's a UK system. Won loads of awards, very easy to use if you've seen any reviews out there on the web, and also a very reliable system. Last year we had an uptime of 99.99%. It's going to be available whenever you want it. So just focusing on some of those aspects in a little bit more detail before we dive into the demo, the live demo proper. So at the heart of any CRM solution is a central database of all of your contacts, the people you work with, that you're selling to, you're servicing, you're looking after. It's very customizable. Shortly when I show you the system, these screens can be changed by you. You can take fields away. You can add fields to it. You can also define different screen layouts as well. So if some people in your company want to see certain information against a customer and other people want to see something different, no problem. There are different form layouts that you can define with workbooks for the same type of record. We can also deploy different security levels. So, and this is quite common with some of our larger implementations where for whatever reason, some people shouldn't see certain information. Of course, by default with a CRM solution, we want to make everything open. We want to share information. We want to improve teamwork. But there may be some instances where you want to hide information or make it read-only. There's loads of different levels of user security that you can define with workbooks. What we're here this morning to talk about are your activities. How do you manage your day? How do you schedule and prioritize your tasks? And basically manage, control that working day and your colleagues' activities as well. So all there in the system, thereby building up a wonderful history of everything that you've done and your colleagues have done with that customer. We can integrate with any email system. We've got some very nice integration with Outlook. As you send and receive your emails, they're being copied together with the attachments to the client's record. So you can see against a company or against a person, you can see blow by blow all of the emails that you've sent or received from that customer. Now we have a mobile app also included, so you can access your contact information on the go. We'll work with any browser. You can access it on your tablet, but there is a mobile app included if you're using or accessing it via a smartphone with a slightly simpler interface. Now, marketing. Many of you, I'm sure, will be doing some form of marketing, email marketing specifically, and this is a key part of workbooks. But first of all, before doing any marketing, when you acquire data, you want to easily have it uploaded to the workbook system. So we have a really nice and easy to use import feature. So if you've got data right now in an Excel spreadsheet, you can easily migrate that data into workbooks. We can also manage duplicate records as well. So we've got some dedupe tools in the system to help keep your data clean. Nothing's worse than having multiple records for the same company or the same person. Everyone gets confused and your data gets misaligned. That's all catered for in workbooks. Also, we can export data. Any information in workbooks can be exported. Again, going back to user security, not everyone can export records. Normally, you appoint someone as, say, the administrator, the main person using workbooks, but you can export any data that you put into workbooks. Think about how do clients come to you. Do you have a contact form on your website? Well, that too can be linked to workbooks as people complete their information on a form on your website and they hit the submit button. That is sent to workbooks and instantly we create a record in the system for this person. And using the workflow, there's some automation in workbooks called workflow. So in the background, 24/7, it's looking for things to do. So it can see this new inquiry coming in and alert you with an incoming email to make sure that every inquiry is recorded, every inquiry is responded to, nothing slips through the net, as might happen with other organizations. I'm sure you found when you sometimes type in information on different forms on company sites. That's all catered for very well with workbooks to make sure we're on top of everything. And also thinking about new leads coming in with that workflow, you could then allocate activities to salespeople. So if normally you want somebody to phone that particular prospect or new lead, that too can be done with that integration process. Now, before doing any marketing activity, so if you're going to be doing, say, a newsletter, or you're promoting something, or you're sending out some invites for an event, you've got easy ways of creating lists, so many different ways. And we do feature on this on one of our weekly presentations on email marketing, we take you through the complete step from start to finish of a campaign, how you can create, how do you find people in workbooks and target, and this is what you're trying to do with a CRM system. Is with your marketing, you're trying to be more targeted. You're profiling and categorizing the people in your system rather than a machine gun approach and mailing out every man and his dog. You're able to be more specific with workbooks, and the people that you found in that list, we integrate with workbooks. We integrate as standard with 3 very popular email marketing platforms. MailChimp is probably the most popular one in the UK, but we also link to Constant Contact and .mailer. So the list you create, those email addresses that have been found in workbooks, are automatically uploaded to, say, something like MailChimp. No exporting or importing to do. It's very, very straightforward. A system like MailChimp will allow you to create a nice looking email. It will deliver the email, and then with the integration coming back into workbooks, we can see against a client's record all the emails that were sent, what did they open, what did they click on. We can see hard bounce information and the all-important opt-out or unsubscribe information, all visible to your users in workbooks, sharing that marketing activity with your users. Managing the sales process, again, we cover this on one of our Friday sessions. How do you use workbooks to track the complete sales cycle from lead to effectively getting the money in cash? So the complete business process can be tracked through workbooks. And again, many CRM systems out there can't do this. They rely on some other application to do quotes or orders or invoices. We can make your life simple by putting it all in one solution here with workbooks. So as standard, we can create quotes. You can store your price list in workbooks. You can import your pricing information from an Excel spreadsheet. You can define different quote layouts, nice professional looking layouts that are defined in a PDF format. You can email them directly from workbooks. So with a couple of clicks of the mouse, that quote is emailed to the client, thereby tracking every single quote that you've done. You can see what quotes are outstanding. And we dovetail that with the opportunity system. Again, we cover this in our Friday sessions. How do you manage your inquiries, your sales opportunities, your revenue, your forecasts? This is a whole big area of workbooks with opportunities. And if you've got Business Edition, the ability to take a quote and convert it without rekeying any information to save you time, transfer it to an order or straight to an invoice delivery note. There's also an option for tracking contracts, customer contracts. So in your business, do you have client contracts? We have a module. It does cost a little bit extra money, and I'll cover pricing towards the end. There's a contracts module with workbooks. Quick mention about customer service. Do you have a help desk team? Well, they can have a separate screen to log all their issues, apply deadlines, track trends, build up a knowledge base of typical problems and resolutions. Again, it's all very customizable. If you want to track SLAs, service level agreements, we've got lots of organizations with very busy help desks using workbooks to improve customer service and sharing information with their salespeople. Right, last slide before we dive into the demo proper. So putting your manager's hat on now, if there's any managers on the call today, this is a great tool for managing what's going on, activity levels, how many leads are coming in, how many calls are we doing, how many meetings have we got planned. Tracking opportunities, of course, this is a key part to any CRM solution, tracking your pipeline there. We have a report writer in workbooks. There's about 50 ready-made reports supplied with workbooks, and you can create your own. And complementary to that are dashboards. So bar graphs or pie charts summarizing what's going on, summarizing some aspect of what's going on in your CRM system as regards your, say, your activities or your leads. I'll show you some examples of that in our little demo. Right, so I'm now going to take you into workbooks proper and focus on activities, how you manage activities in in Workbooks and your time. This is not meant to be a complete overview or demonstration of the system. Again, let me repeat, we'd love to have the opportunity of showing that to you via a separate one-to-one presentation. So here we are. This is Workbooks. Apologies for those people that have seen Workbooks already, but I've just logged in. I'm using Workbooks via Chrome this morning. And what we see, first of all, is your Workbooks desktop. And straight away, you'll recognize this. It looks like your Windows desktop with the Start button. Do you see down in the bottom left-hand corner there? And from that, we've got access to all of the different elements of a proper CRM solution with right at the top there, people and organizations. Just to the right of that, there's a Google-like search box. You've never got that lost feeling with Workbooks. Nothing's more than a few clicks away. Easy to find information. So we're here to discuss managing activities. So here's one way of seeing. Imagine you come into the office in the morning, you've logged into Workbooks. What have you got to do today? Who have you got to do it to? Why have you got to do it? Well, that's all explained in your activity list here. And what we see here when I click on activities is my activity landing page, summarizing, right, like an Excel spreadsheet, summarizing row by row all of the activities on the go right now. Now, straight away, you can see some rows are highlighted in pink or red. So there's a nice visual indication here of activities that are overdue. You can see these column headers, these column descriptions at the top there. So we can straight away see here overdue activities. Now, we can also, these landing pages where we see rows and rows of information, we can also group and filter on this information. So if you see rather a lot of activities here and you think, oh, crikey, what have I got to do? Who have I got to do it to first? Well, there is a priority. When you create activities, when you schedule activities in Workbooks, there's a priority field. So you can actually view that in this display here. So I've just clicked into one of the column headers there, and just I'm now going to insert a new column in this display. And this could be visible to all users or just me as you want to. But here's all of the fields here in alphabetical order, all of the bits of information that we can display in this summary view about our activities. And there's priority there. So back on my display now, and there's my priority, and I could obviously move this along if I wanted to. There we go. And also I could click on the little down arrow there and I could say, well, let's group by this field. So straight away, now my activity list has grouped and sorted all of my activities, everyone's activities in this example, by priority. So here's all the highs, and we've got down the bottom there, do you see I've got 25 pages of activities and I scroll through them as I want to. You could also filter on this information. If you again think, well, I've actually got too much here. Maybe I just want to see all of my phone calls, for example. Well, I've got a type of activity here. That's again a pretty key bit of information that is visible when you're creating activities, creating new tasks in Workbooks. What type of thing is it? Is it a phone call? Is it a meeting? Is it a task? So here I could filter on this, or I could click on this button up here to create those filters. I can drill down now and say, well, I just want to look at phone calls. If I just apply this filter, click on this little button here to apply it, then straight away I'm now just looking at phone calls. If this is a regular thing that you want to see, your phone calls, maybe your high priority phone calls, maybe somebody else's phone calls, you can now save this as a view. You can save this as a list. So you don't need to go through this process again. It's available to you or maybe your colleagues. So I can now save this view and call it phone calls or something memorable. that I will then recognize it, and that then is displayed on the left-hand side of this landing page here. Do you see this little view section where I can see all of the previous groups of calls, groups of activities that we created earlier? So when I next log into Workbooks, I can then see and quickly jump to all of that information. So a quick way there of seeing all of your activities. To create new tasks, new activities, well, you could do it from here, or alternatively, I'm just going to close down my open windows there, get to a clean desktop there. If I do a search for somebody in my system, let's say do a search for a client called Alan, and we go to Alan's record here, this is another way of scheduling activities, and this might be the normal approach where you've got a client's record in front of you and you then want to schedule a new activity with them. So from this client's record, here we can see all of the information about this client with those tabs running across the top there. You can have more tabs or less tabs as you wish to. And on Alan's record, we can see here a numerical indication, 49 activities on the go that have been recorded with Alan. So we could create new ones here. These are some of the options that I got. You can also create your own activity types. So for example, here's one here called project activity, but let me take you through a very simple phone call. Let's imagine we want to have a reminder to phone this client in a week's time. So I pop in here some kind of subject or reference of this phone call, thinking about when I should do this call. Well, it's going to be a week's time. Now you're working as a team. You may not be working on your own. You're not working in a vacuum. You're working in a team. So we've got a little drop-down list here of all of my colleagues that use Workbooks. So I can schedule activities. I can delegate activities to these other people. And here's that priority there. By default, it's jumped to a medium priority, but we can change it there as we want to. Plus, I can type in some notes, of course. There we are, lots of information there. You can also attach files to this activity. In fact, this whole screen can be customized by you. This is just an example. If you started using Workbooks right now, this is what Workbooks is going to give you, a ready-made system for tracking your customers and your activities. This whole screen can be changed, add more fields to it, take fields away to make it even simpler than it is already. So when you're done creating this new reminder phone call to chase this quote that you might have done to Alan, you just save and close it there. And there we are. It's now visible to you and everyone that uses Workbooks. And it's going to stay in that state until you've actually done something with it. And of course, you would go to it to then complete the activity. And when you've completed the activity, think about what is the next step with this client. Is there some kind of follow-up action? And this again is what we can set up in Workbooks very easily, is defining when a user completes an activity, what should be the prompt for the next step in the sales process with that client. Maybe there's sort of a follow-on task. So you complete this thing, and then Workbooks will display another pop-up window to create the follow-on task. There's a sequence, there's a process we're going through here, so that again, nothing gets forgotten about. There's always going to be some kind of follow-on activity with your active clients. Let me just close down that screen there. So another way of staying on top of your activities, apart from that activity landing page that we saw first of all, is by the use of dashboards. This is a great way of summarizing what's going on here in your CRM system. And here's an example of a number of different dashboards that I've got set up already. One of which is called a personal dashboard, just to give you an idea of what might be possible. Here's some 6 panels of information here on my dashboard. This is completely customizable by you, but we can see here some kind of summary of what are my overdue activities, pipeline what are my up and coming activities? What are my top leads? What are my outstanding leads that maybe I haven't contacted back yet and qualified further to move them through the CRM system? What's my sales situation looking like? So great ways of summarizing your activities and maybe highlighting. We also have some color formatting with these reports and dashboards as well. So we could get things to display in red if something is overdue or there's some exceptional thing going on there that we need to draw your attention to. So a nice way of, with color indications, notifying you. And of course, the other thing that you need to be aware of in managing your time is not only looking at your activities, but all the other key things that you want to be using a CRM system for. And in the sales section, we can, for example, see a few things here. We could see all of my outstanding sales leads. So new inquiries that have come in, may have been imported from an Excel spreadsheet recently, may have come in via the web, may have been typed in by a colleague. So we can see at a glance all of the outstanding sales leads that we need to attend to with a rating there. Again, we can prioritize these leads like we can prioritize our activities. Going back to my sales section again, my opportunities. So not only do I want to look at all of my activities today, but what sales opportunities have I got on the go? What's the value of them? What's the stage of negotiations with those people? How important are these opportunities to my business? This screen will show you and summarize all of that information. And lastly, if you are doing quotes, you might want to see all of your outstanding quotes. There we are. Actually, just do all quotations there. Show you rather more information. There we are. Again, a customizable landing page. You tell it what you want to see about all of these different quotations. Okay, there you are then. A quick run through the basics of activity management, time management, making sure that you're on top of things, you're delegating things to people, you're keeping up your activity levels, you're reminded of when to do things. We also support alarms in the system. If you've got the Outlook integration, these tasks can be transferred to Outlook. You've also got a way of displaying information in a graphical way as well. So anywhere you see date type information, that can be viewed as a graphical calendar there. Again, another visual way of alerting you to things you've got to do. All right, as I normally do on our Friday sessions, I summarize now some pricing information for you. Of course, this is all on the workbooks.com website, but just to confirm, pricing of Workbooks, there's an annual subscription to the system. And there's the two editions there, CRM edition or business edition. Business edition, remember, allows you to do the orders, invoices, credit notes, recording customer payments, creating supplier purchase orders. So it is priced higher. And this is an annual subscription plus VAT. There are also many other options. For example, most popular option is the Outlook integration. That's an extra £48 per user that wants it, per user per year. And that will allow you to, it gives you more options on email integration. We can, with standard workbooks, we can integrate with any email system, but with the Outlook integration, you've just got a few more options about how you integrate in your emails there. And also it will, in a bi-directional way, share your calendar, your tasks, and your contacts. So you put a record into Outlook, it pops up in Workbooks and vice versa, plus any changes. Now, as well as your subscription, be realistic. Do you need any help in any way for some initial training? We can provide even a short 1 hour training course. If you're running on a limited budget, we can provide training by the hour. Or if you have rather more sophisticated requirements and or you want somebody else, professionals like us, to do the whole job for you, then we can give you a quotation. Once we understand your requirements, we can give you a quote for doing the whole thing for you, setting it all up to your requirements, migrating your data, customizing it, integrating workbooks with other things, which it's very clever at doing, providing a training program for all of your users at whatever location you prefer, and all the ongoing support as well. We can provide the total package for you. So we can play this anyway, depending on your requirements there. Right, it's that time of the session now for our questions. If you've got any questions there, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel, and there's a few coming in there. First question from Sam. What are the eco sign activities I saw? Echo sign, I'm not sure actually how it's pronounced. Echo sign is a forms, it's an electronic signature forms application that we integrate to with workbooks. Again, we are going to be doing a presentation on that in the next few weeks. So when you send out an order form to a client for signature, and maybe it might be an order, maybe a contract, the client signs that. It's all integrated with workbooks, so you've got those forms there and those activities tracked. That's what that echo sign is for there. Next question from Sue. If you import data for a sales campaign, can you dedupe against existing members customers so you don't include them? Yes, there is a way on import to do a dedupe so that you end up with just one person on your system. Also, when you upload data to systems like MailChimp or Constant Contact, they too have a dedupe capability. So there's a kind of a double barrier there, Sue, to preventing duplicate records. So don't be concerned that one person will get 2 emails. There is that in there on the import process. Next question from Nat. Can you print out all of your overdue activities? Yes, you can. That landing page I showed you, there's a little print icon there. You can print out from there. Also with the report writer, there's various reports that the system provides you with that you can report out. You may need to just look at the filters in those reports just to make sure they are displaying the right, what was it you wanted, the overdue activities. Maybe you just want a certain type of activities or certain colleagues' activities. They can be defined as filters within that report. Next question from Emma. When trying to do supplier orders, can you produce a different supplier order for each supplier if different products on one sale? Yes, you can, Emma. That can be done in the setup of workbooks there. It just needs a little bit of tweaking, as they say. So if you had one sales order with multiple products on it relating to 3 suppliers, you could create 3 different POs going to those 3 different suppliers, because you can actually maintain against each product in the system the normal supplier that you get that item from. So yes, Emma, that can be done. Right, I don't think there's any more questions coming through. Yeah, thank you, Emma. Don't think there's any more questions coming through. If there are any late questions, I will answer those separately via email to you. Thank you very much for those that posted those very good questions. As regards next steps, just to repeat, there is a trial of workbooks and evaluation you can sign up for. Go to workbooks.com. You don't need to supply any credit card information. You can be up and running in just a matter of a few minutes, and you'll see pretty much what I showed you this morning. But related to that, if you haven't had one already, if you'd like a more detailed presentation or discussion of your needs, please contact us. There's my contact details. My name again is Tim Wilmot, W-I-L-M-O-T. We'd be happy to assist you and make sure you get the most out of the workbook system. It's a great system. Thanks very much for your time this morning. We'd love to talk to you further, but have a nice day, and thanks very much again for your interest and your time this morning. Bye-bye.